Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe, and you're all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested for. As you stand before me today, you are considered not guilty of what you've been charged with, and that status will remain with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by the State Attorney's Office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. I'll determine this morning whether you'd like to hire an attorney, whether you'd like the assistance of the Public Defender's Office, or whether you'd like to represent yourself. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you at each stage of these proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, I will appoint the Public Defender's Office for you this morning. You are also entitled to make a phone call to let friends, family, or your attorney know where you are. If you have not had the opportunity to make that phone call yet, please let me know. I'll make sure that you get that phone call today. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Solemnly swear affirm testimony before the court will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Yes. Okay, go ahead and put your hands down as I call your name. Come forward to the podium. Catherine Holmes. Ms. Holmes, can I have your date of birth?
March 7, 1976.
All right. You are here this morning on a charge of driving while your license was suspended or revoked. The bond is currently $500. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you know why your driver's license is suspended right now?
Insurance, which I was going to, I got the insurance, but I have to pay the $150 to reinstate it, which I was scheduled to do that today.
Okay.
Charge?
Yeah, I see that's the only thing holding her up. Do you have any objection to me RORing her and just getting her on my DL docket?
No, because she doesn't really have it. Your Honor, we're showing that she's currently on PTI. At least I suspect she's currently on.
She's off of that. That goes in time.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Nettie. No objections, then,
Okay.
Judge.
Because the only thing is the insurance. All right. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and ROR you on this today, okay? What you need to do is go clean up your driver's license, get that right away, and then come back to court on April 4th at 9 a.m. with your driver's license, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
See you back to court then. I'm not going to appoint the public defender at this time because I'm not sure if you need one. We'll decide on April 4th, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Lisa Howard. Ms. Howard, can I have your date of birth?
8/8/65.
All right, you were here today for a battery on a law enforcement officer and driving under the influence. I did find probable cause for your arrest on each of these. Did you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender, please.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State your prior record.
Your Honor, I'm showing that there's no other Florida history, but there is some out-of-state history in Kentucky. I'm having I see a DUI case with no disposition, disorderly conduct, criminal trespassing, carrying a concealed weapon, all with no disposition in 2015. And that is what I'm showing, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Howard, I have an address for you on Whippoorwill Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
About 2 months.
Okay. How long have you lived in Hernando County?
Since August of last year.
Okay. Where did you live before that?
Kentucky.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, I have a pending disability case.
Count one, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500. Count two is $500. We'll see you back to court on April 3rd at 9 a.m., okay?
Thank you.
Deborah Lopez. Ms. Lopez, can I have your date of birth?
2489.
All right. You are here this morning for 2 DUIs and the neglect of a child. Just one count of that right now. I did find probable cause for all of these. Did you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State?
Your Honor, I'm not showing any history.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Lopez, I have an address for you. Is it on Kevin Kelly Ave?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you lived there?
2 years.
Okay, do you have a job?
No.
All right, on count number 1, I'll set your bond at $500. On count number 2, I'll set your bond at $500. On count number 3, I'll set your bond at $1,500. And we'll see you back to court on these cases on April 3rd at 9 a.m., okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Heather Riddle? Ms. Riddle, can I have your date of birth?
June 19th, 1990.
Okay. You are here this morning for a violation of probation. I did find probable cause for your arrest. We have no bond on that violation of probation at this point. We're going to keep it no bond. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office to represent you?
I've already talked to the public defender, Sharkey.
I'll appoint the public defender's office, and we'll see you back to court on April 9th at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
All right, thank you.
Ryan Bullshot? Mr. Bajals, can I have your date of birth?
3/28/81.
You were here this morning for a DUI with property damage and a DUI enhanced. I did find probable cause for both of these. Do you want to represent yourself, hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender, please.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State to see the car record.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm showing a drop DUI in 2017 out of, it says Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation, doesn't give me a county, says it's in Florida. Disposition guilty for obstruction without violence in 2013. Criminal mischief 2013, disposition guilty out of Orange County in 2012. Failure to appear out of Pasco County in 2009. Failure to appear out of Hernando County in 2009. Probation violation in Hernando County in 2009. Disposition guilty in 2008 for driving with license suspended, as well as a flee or attempt to elude police officer. Possession of cocaine out of Hernando County, all in 2008. Disposition guilty for drug paraphernalia, marijuana possession, cocaine possession out of Pasco County in 2001. Obstruct without violence in 2001. Adjudication withheld out of Pinellas Park. And that's all I'm showing, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, what's that case number?
Oh, yeah.
When's that start? Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right. Mr. Schultz, I have an address here on Willow Oak Lane in Wekiwachi. Is that where you live?
That's correct.
How long have you lived there?
Been here about 6 months.
You have a job?
I did. I've been in this jail now for about 2 months, 3 months now. I don't think I have that job anymore. So I get out of it, right? But I wasn't able to get my phone call. If that makes any difference.
Oh, it's a warrant.
I don't know when the date of offense was.
I'm confused. This warrant says it was committed February 20th, and he's saying he's been in jail for 3 months.
Just look at that now, Your Honor.
It's 2.5 months, right? Or maybe 2 months. Okay.
I apologize. We haven't had access to the warrant up till now, so
Do you have a copy of it?
we do not, Judge.
Can I see a copy of it?
Yes, please.
Can the jail confirm that he's been in custody since January 16th?
I I showed January 20th.
Okay. He's been in custody since January 20th, and the warrant says that happened on February 20th.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not talking. I'm not asking you a question. You need to remain silent right now. We'll figure this out.
Baffled, Your Honor.
Baffled. Baffled. Talk to me. All right.
Sounds like he has pretty defense.
Well, it sounds like I'm going to have a probable cause issue on this warrant, though, for this morning's purposes. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hold 24 hours until we figure this out, okay? I'm not going to find PC on this morning because there's an issue with this warrant. I think it's the wrong date or the wrong person. I'm not really sure. But nevertheless, we're going to find no probable cause this morning because there's lack of evidence right now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and we'll hold 24 hours. We're going to see you back. Do you know who's on duty tomorrow?
I believe it's something.
Positive. I was going to put it back there. I just want to put all this stuff together.
Yeah.
Well, can we do something by 1 o'clock today and figure this out?
Certainly try, Judge. Sometimes these officers are hard to get a hold of during the day, it sounds like.
I'll make sure I'm available at 1.
All right, we're going to try to figure this out as soon as possible. Worst case scenario, we're going to see you tomorrow morning at first appearance, and I'll advise the judge tomorrow morning, whoever that is, of what's going on, okay? We're going to find no PC at this time. We'll see you back in the morning.
About the phone call, Your Honor?
I will make sure that you get that phone call today, okay?
Gracias.
All right, did he have another? All right, I'm just going to see this back before we leave court. Right. Okay, Michael Douglas. Mr. Douglas, can I have your date of birth?
042579.
All right. You were here this morning for domestic battery and tampering with a witness. I did find probable cause for that. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Do you want the public defender's office?
PD.
All right. I'd like the public defender's office to represent you. State for fire records.
Your Honor, I'm showing that he is a multi-source offender, but I don't have that out-of-state history. Other than that, there's no other Florida history besides these cases at bay.
Okay. Sir, I have an address here on Linden Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
3 years.
Okay, do you have a job?
I'm in school.
Okay, you're a full-time student?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Alright, on count 1, the domestic battery, I'm going to set your bond at $2,000. Tampering with the witness, I'll set your bond at $2,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim, in this case, Haley Woodall, okay? Do not have any contact with her whatsoever. Do not call her. Do not write her. Do not email her. Do not have anyone else call her, write her, or email her. If you have any contact with her whatsoever, you could commit another crime, be arrested on another crime, and be held without bond until you resolve all of your cases. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, that means no contact, even if she wants to contact you. If she calls you, you need to hang up the phone. If you see her out somewhere, you need to turn around and go the other way. We're going to see you back to court on this case on April 3rd at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
David Fontaine. Mr. Fontaine, can I have your date of birth?
10/4/63.
We were here this morning for a charge of sale of controlled substance and having a place or structure for sale of controlled substances. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
I need public defender.
All right, I'll find the public defender's office to represent you. State.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
what were the charges again?
The charges are sale of controlled substance and possession of a place used for the sale, transfer, or manufacturing of controlled substances. Okay. State fire record.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm showing a probation violation reference in Hernando County in 2005. Hernando County in 2010, a battery, disposition guilty. Hernando County 2011 probation violation reference, probation violation and a failure to appear reference in Hernando County in 2016, adjudication of guilt battery 2017 out of Hernando County, also showing that he's a multi-source offender. I have history for that. It's out of Rhode Island, an assault in 1983, mischief as well, and that same time, simple assault, possession of cocaine, 92, receiving stolen goods, and 95, shoplifting, possession of controlled substance, simple battery in 2003, no disposition on these, and a failure to appear reference in 2005.
Mr. Fontaine, I have an address for you on Broad Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
No.
Where do you live?
8148 W.B. Stevenson Road in Brooksville, Florida, 34613.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Oh, I'm 100% disabled, ma'am.
That he did a motion to early term, which is set before Judge Merritt on March 22nd. That came over 17 CF
1941.
40.
Oh, 1940.
Okay. All right, Mr. Fontaine, on count number 1, I'm going to set your bond at $4,000. On count number 2, I'm going to set your bond at $10,000. Is that March 22nd date? That's just a motion date? Can I set all of his stuff on that date, or does Judge Merritt?
No objection to that, Judge.
Do that? Okay.
Sure.
It looks like you have another case in front of Judge Merritt on March 22nd, case number 2017 CF 1940. That's a probation case, and this case might violate that probation. So I'm going to set them both in front of Judge Merritt so he can figure out what's going on, okay? So we'll see you back in court March 22nd.
Okay.
Right. Matthew Galloway. Mr. Galloway, can I have your date of birth?
8/13/86.
All right. You were here this morning for a grand theft, fleeing to elude, and resisting a law enforcement officer without violence. I did find probable cause for your arrest on all of these. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in all of these cases. Mr. Lehman?
Going back to 2000, Mr. Galloway, as juvie, burglary of a dwelling. 2001 juvenile, aggravated assault with deadly weapon. 2001 as a juvenile, aggravated assault with deadly weapon. 2002 as a juvenile, burglary of a dwelling, grand theft, and paraphernalia. 2002 as an adult, looks like those charges were upended there. They're direct filed. Juvenile 2003 violated his probation. 2004 another probation violation, I'm guessing on the same case. 2005 burglary of a dwelling and grand theft statutory property. 2006 conviction on possession of cannabis with intent to sell. 2006 possession of cocaine, which came in possession of cocaine, which is a conviction. 2006 burglary of a structure or conveyance, conviction times 2. 2007 home invasion with a firearm, which was dropped. 2008 misdemeanor Willis, which was a conviction. 2009 DV, which was dropped. 2009 felony Willis, which is a conviction. 2010 DV, conviction, it's a misdemeanor. 2010 violation of pretrial release pertaining to domestic violence, which is a conviction. 2011 violated his probation on burglary of a structure or conveyance. I pick up another burglary, which is a conviction. Looks like he did a stint here in prison from 2011 to about 2013. 2013, grand theft auto conviction. 2013, grand theft conviction. 2013, conditional release violation. Looks like he went back to prison. And then 2015, possession of controlled substance, which was no prost. Paraphernalia, which is a conviction. 2015, resisting without, which is a conviction. 2015, an FTA. 2016, an FTA. 2016, possession of controlled substance with intent and paraphernalia. Looks like both of those were dropped. I'm guessing he violated his probation on something there. 2016, controlled substance without a prescription, which was no prost. That's all we can confirm this morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Galloway, I have an address on Clayton Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
About 19 years.
Set your bond on the grand theft auto at $15,000. We'll see you back to court April 3rd at 9 a.m. We're going to set your bond on the fleeing to elude at $10,000 and the resisting a law enforcement officer to $5,000. See you back on April 3rd at 9 a.m. for all of these cases, okay? Someone from the public defender's office will be out to see you soon. Vincent Guyana. Have your date of birth, please.
8/15/1966.
All right. You are here this morning for a DUI charge. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? You want to hire somebody? You want the PD?
Public defender. I'm not from here, ma'am. I'm visiting.
Okay, so you don't know whether you want an attorney representing you because you're visiting?
Yeah, that'll be fine. Public defender?
Yeah. State?
I'm showing no Florida history. I'm showing out-of-state history out of Texas. 1985 assault, no disposition. 1996 possession of marijuana, no disposition. A 2017 unauthorized use of vehicle, no disposition. Other than that, Your Honor, there's no other history that I'm showing.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gunnar, you live in Dallas, Texas, right?
No, I live in Lubbock, Texas.
All right. On CR 2200?
Yes.
Okay, how long have you lived there?
About 6 years.
All right, you have any family here in Hernando County?
My sister, Christina.
Where she live? Brooksville? Spring Hill?
Spring Hill? Yeah. I barely got here 2 days ago.
Okay, well, welcome to Hernando
off-
County. Let me be the first to
street.
welcome you. All right, so we're going to set your bond on this case at $2,000, okay? You're going to be back to court on April 4th at 9 a.m. Someone from the public defender's office come out and see you if you're unable to bond out. If you do bond out, you want to make your way down here to the courthouse to see your public defender, okay?
Ma'am, I thought my bond was 500.
Well, right now it's 2,000 because you have very little ties to the community, and now that I've heard your prior record, I think that will ensure your appearance in court.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jesse Hunt.
Yes.
Hi, Jesse. Can I have your date of birth?
11/18/78.
Okay. She has a whole bunch of pending cases, right? Just one? All right.
Gotcha.
April 11th? All right, Mr. Hunt, you're here today for a grand theft auto. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you have the public defender on your other case?
Yeah.
All right. You want me to appoint the public defender on this case as well?
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, do you have that case number?
15 CF 1457. Like it's a return from
Nope. We wouldn't start the party.
Okay, so there's no bond on that?
Generally, when those come back, unless they FTA, they generally just come back and forth.
Okay, but usually when you go on PTI, don't you pay a bond? Isn't there a bond when you go on PTI?
If you're out of custody, the bond you're on would remain. If you're in custody, they usually release you ROR.
Oh, which one is he?
He actually went into PTI June 9th, 2016.
Oh, 16? All right, well. Mr. Hunt, I have an address here on Leonard Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how long have you lived there?
Just about over a year.
Okay, do you have a job?
I get Social Security income.
All right, we're going to keep your bond at $2,000, and we're going to see you back to court on April 11th, 2018. That is with your 2015 CF 1457 case that you have in front of Judge Toner, okay?
Okay.
Ryan Ruppe. That happened the other day, too. Mr. Ruppe, can I have your date of birth?
12/1/1998.
Okay, were you in front of me a couple days ago?
Yes, ma'am.
Thought so. Okay, you're here today for a violation of probation. It's a warrant signed by Judge Merritt. There's probable cause for your arrest. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office. We're going to hold you no bond on that right now. We'll see you back to court on April 3rd, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Curtis Smiley. Mr. Smiley, can I have your date of birth?
5/10/73.
All right. You are here this morning for 2 counts of sale of hydromorphone. Let's see if I get this right. 2 counts of possession of hydromorphone with intent to sell, 2 counts of possession of a conveyance for the sale of hydromorphone, and 2 counts of unlawful use of a two-way communication device. There's also a federal warrant from the U.S. Marshal Service and a misdemeanor possession of marijuana. So I did find probable cause for your arrest on all of these. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office on each of your cases. I'm going to keep all the bonds the same. There's no bond on the one for the U.S. Marshal Service. We're going to see you back to court on your felony cases on April 3rd at 9 a.m. We're going to see you back to court on the misdemeanor possession. They're awesome cases. Is that right? That's April 3rd as well?
Fourth.
Should be 4th for the misdemeanor. That's going to be April 4th for the misdemeanor case, okay? Someone from the public defender's office will come out and see you shortly.
Thank you.
Dalton Weaver.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can I have your date of birth?
7/24/96.
Okay, you are here this morning for an aggravated battery and a misdemeanor battery. I did find probable cause for your arrest on those. And you're also here for a grand theft auto. There's probable cause for your arrest on that as well. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office in all of your cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you on each. State Supervisor.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm showing a case to appear reference out of Hillsborough County in 2018, as well as a resisting officer in 2018. So it looks like it's not a Hillsborough. It looks like they're open a failure to appear reference out of Pinellas County County in 2017, a probation violation reference in Hillsborough County. Out of 2016, at Nullcross, it looks like a aggravated battery on an elderly or disabled person. Out of Marion County in 2016, a probation violation reference in Hillsborough in 2016. A dropped battery in 2016 out of Pinellas County. A disposition guilty of reckless driving 2016, along with driving with a license suspended and a DUI. In 2016 out of Pinellas County. A disposition guilty in 2017 for an aggravated battery on a elderly or disabled adult without great harm. Out of Hillsborough County. A failure to appear reference out of Tampa in 2015. And then there's also some juvenile history as well.
Okay. Mr. Weaver, I have an address for you on Jameswood Way in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you lived there?
About 2 years.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
Construction. I do tile removal.
Okay. Okay, we're going to keep the bond on the grand theft auto at $5,000. We're going to set the bond on the aggravated battery at $10,000 and on the misdemeanor battery at $5,000. We're going to see you back to court on April 3rd.
Your Honor, I would ask if you could take into consideration that my victim came down to the state attorney's office Wednesday and signed that she didn't want to drop charges.
Okay. Well,
and I would ask for a reasonable bond.
Yeah, I gave you a reasonable bond based on your prior record and based on the facts and circumstances in this case, and based on the fact that you're from Tampa. So I think the bond is reasonable, and you need to know, Mr. Weaver, that it does not matter to me one bit what paper she signed and with whom she signed it with. It is not up to her whether to prosecute these charges or not. That responsibility lies solely with the state attorney's office, and if they want to prosecute it without her help, they can do so. You're going to have no contact with her whatsoever, with Caitlin. Do you understand? Do not call, do not write, do not email, do not have anyone else call, write, or email. If you have any contact with Caitlin while this case is pending, you could be committing another crime and held without bond until you resolve all of your cases. That means no contact even if she calls you. If she calls you, you should hang up the phone. And if you see her out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way. If you're unable to bond out, someone from the public defender's office will come out and see you shortly, okay?
Thank you. When was my court date, ma'am?
April 3rd.
Thank you.
Joseph Weaver?
Morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Weaver, can I have your date of birth?
4/22/90.
You're here today for a violation of probation out of Pinellas County. So there is probable cause for your arrest. So no bond on that warrant. We're going to keep it no bond. Pinellas County is going to come get you within the next 5 days. When you get down there, you can ask for an attorney and a court date. If they don't come get you within the next 5 days, they'll bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is, okay?
Thank you.
All right. David Woodall?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Ball. Mr. Woodall, can I have your date of birth?
5/5/59.
You were here this morning for a violation of an injunction against for the protection of domestic violence. I did find probable cause for your arrest.
I don't know if it's a violation of injunction. It might be a violation of probation. We entered a plea yesterday. I'm not admitting to anything. Having said that, Judge, I'd ask for a court date next week. I believe that there will be a no bond on that. What you have.
It's a violation. He's arrested for violating an injunction. There's an active injunction, and
go.
he called her 7 times yesterday, allegedly, leaving 4 voicemail messages, violating an injunction that's been in place for
How
some
about
time.
that? We would ask for a reasonable bond on based on all that, or we'll leave that to the court's discretion.
For no bond, Judge, regardless, it's just placed on probation for, I believe it was a domestic situation.
That's correct.
Just placed on probation. Immediately, within hours, started contact. I not even contact blowing up her phone. Despite the violation, despite the injunction that was also in place.
I would point out, Judge, I didn't mean to interrupt, Mr. Williams,
I'm not.
that the injunction has been in place, and the domestic situation, as Mr. Lehman accurately puts it, has been in place. Having said that, as an officer of the court, I've seen his phone, the flip-top phone, which she's texted him while he was in our cell. Doesn't mean that he has the right to text her, I understand that, but it does shed a little light on the situation. If she's afraid of him, why is she texting him? That's a standard question. Having said that, I understand.
Does she need to be afraid of him for him to violate the injunction?
I don't know about that, but I mean, if
Yeah.
you're gonna
I do. Okay.
If you're
All right, Mr. Woodall, I have an address for an Azen Loop in Brooksville. Is that what you're?
That's where my mother lives.
That's where your mother lives. Okay.
That's where he's going to
Is that
reside
where-
if he ever.
That's where you're.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. I'm going to hold it, not going to hold it in the floor, but I'm going to order no contact with Pamela Butler, okay? You cannot call her. Stop calling her.
Yes.
You cannot write. You cannot have anyone else call her or write her. Do not have any contact with her whatsoever. Now,
Yes.
your attorney will probably advise you that it's probably going to be a violation of probation warrant coming down the pike here in the next couple of days. So if you decide to bond out on this, you might be wasting your money because we're going to have a warrant probably coming out, like I said, in the next couple of days, and you're going to be held no bond once that warrant comes out. Mr. Lehman, did you?
I spoke with Ms. Newby, and she's actually working on it as we speak.
Okay. So, for this case, though, we'll see you back to court on April 4th at 9 a.m., okay?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Woodall, I'll be out to see you probably Monday afternoon. Thank you, Judge. I'll see you later. Have a good weekend.
Okay. Is this Mark Gould?
Yes.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Conchas.
Mr. Gould, I filed a bond motion this morning, but if I could just have 1 second to address, they've made an offer to him to see if he'd like to resolve
Okay.
the case. Hey, Mark, they've offered you probation if you want to do that. Obviously, we haven't heard the bond motion, but they're offering 12 months of probation to complete an anger management class. Can you hear me?
No,
Mark, can you hear me?
I didn't hear you.
Okay, let me try again. They've made an offer to you this morning. You have basically 3 options. We can do the bond motion, see if the judge will reduce your bond. If you can make the bond, then post bond and handle your case from not in jail. You can take the offer that the state's making to you, which is a conviction, 12 months of probation, for you to complete a 12-hour anger management class, have no contact with the victim, and I believe they'd reserve for restitution in the event there is any, for 60 days. And I believe early term, halfway, or when basically early term whenever you complete the conditions. And then your third option is if you'd like to ask the judge for an open plea, you have 36 days of county jail credit at this time, so you could ask the judge to give you some variation of a jail sentence, maybe even time served. I'm not sure she would do that, but that's up to you. Just tell me what you want to do.
I would like to fight the case with
Okay.
bond.
That's fine. I guess at this time, Judge, I just proceed with the bond motion.
Okay.
The crux of it is basically this. He was arrested for a felony charge of burglary. I believe it was actually with a battery. There's a $25,000 bond placed on that charge and a $5,000 bond placed on his count 2 misdemeanor battery charge. The state attorney's office remanded the case, and when they did so, they didn't identify the fact that they were dismissing count 1 and only remanding count 2, so the jail has actually held him on a $30,000 bond for the last week. The $25,000 count is no longer around, and for whatever reason, it didn't identify into no information, so they weren't sure what to do, so we filed the motion to correct that. Right now, there should only be 1 count battery. That's a $5,000 bond posted at first appearance. I don't believe he has any prior battery charges. I certainly defer to the state on that because I haven't seen a score sheet or criminal history on Mr. Gould. But
Okay, Mr. Lehman?
Sure, 2017, marijuana license suspended, 2011, cannabis, 2011, DV, but I'm not sure the disposition of that. 2011, resisting, 2011, no valid, 2007, cannabis, 2007, Willis, 2007, Willis.
I believe, Judge, he was on, I don't know, Mark, were you actually on probation with Judge Ruppe when this happened for the driving on suspended license, or were you just on a pay and go type scenario where you just
It was Judge Hinsman,
Judge?
and it was early term. Once it was paid off, the next day.
Okay. I do know, Judge, it has been paid off. And there was no warrant ever came out of the violation.
Okay, so do you agree with Mr. Conagasti, Mr. Lehman, that when it was remanded down, whole issue with the $25,000 bond with the jail?
That's my understanding, Your Honor.
Okay, so we need to do an order fixing that, right? And so this is just to reduce the $5,000?
It's really to correct, for whatever reason, the jail thought he was supposed to be held on $30,000, despite the fact that there's not 2 counts anymore. So, obviously, the $25,000 goes away as a $5,000 bond.
Right.
Certainly any reduction he would accept, but if the court wants to leave it there, he understands that that's a possibility. I kind of thought that this would be a moot issue, because by the time we got here, he would have only a $5,000 bond if he posted. Obviously, since we're here, I'd ask for a reduction of the $5,000 because it seems a little high given his history. Usually $1,000 is by schedule, so.
Okay, well, how do we fix the other ones? What do I have to do?
I believe all you have to do on the court disposition is identify the fact that basically specifically the burglary charge has been dismissed by the state, and therefore that bond should be released or dismissed or whatever.
Okay.
And from there, it's up to you. I'll defer to you, Judge, as far as what you want to do with the battery bond, because they did identify them at his felony first appearance. Count 1, 25, count 2, 5.
Okay. Well, we're going to fix that, but I'm going to keep the $5,000 bond as it is at this time.
Yes, ma'am. Mark, did you understand that?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I'll call your dad today to let him know that the bond is at $5,000, and hopefully he'll get you out today. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Did we get everyone out of the jail?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Have a good day.